Being a small YouTuber feels like this. Part 1, the high hopes. You know, at first I thought that YouTube would be a piece of cake, especially working on this new channel. You see, I think that I might have been a bit spoiled with my first experience here on YouTube with my other channel. I had pretty good success, I had millions of views, but at the time my videos were on a topic where there wasn't anyone else making videos like it. Not to mention there weren't nearly as many people on YouTube as there are now, and these days there are a ton of talented YouTubers out there. And to be honest, some days I wonder what would happen if I just started posting again on that channel just to see what would happen. But back to this channel, I knew that for sure if I made great videos that people would find my channel and that views would just start rolling in. Not so much. This is what it feels like to be a small YouTuber. Turns out there's a lot more to it. One thing about being a YouTuber with a small channel is that I had the unique opportunity to really build something great, to build a community around my channel and keep doing what really makes me happy, which is, among other things, buying cool gear and making content. I still remember the very first time I uploaded a video on YouTube. At the time, it was a video on how to cut your own hair, and this was so long ago. But I had looked on YouTube for some kind of tutorial that would help me take my haircuts to the next level, right? Because at that point I had been cutting my own hair for at least a few years and I just couldn't find anything. So I thought to myself, what if I just make my own video, right? Maybe other people are looking for the same thing that I am. So I went online and I started to look for the gear that I would need to start my own channel. And I still remember the excitement that I had when I opened up my first camera. I bought it off of Amazon. Amazon's been around forever, it feels like, but it was a Canon Rebel T3i, and I got it along with a remote control, an SD card, and an Amazon Basics tripod. If you would believe it, they actually make tripods. Fast forward to today, now I'm just as excited about unboxing a new camera or lens or setting up to film, my next video. It's exhilarating. And I know that I can use these tools to create high quality videos. Well, at least when it comes down to gear. I'm still working on my craft. I'm still working at getting better and making better videos. But I won't lie, it's been pretty tough, right? Working a full-time job outside of YouTube, setting up to record and edit videos, sometimes late into the night. It can be a lot of work that goes into videos. But even though I put all of that effort and time into my videos, it doesn't mean that they will be successful. Sometimes videos really take off and sometimes they don't. Sometimes videos that I think aren't going to go anywhere turn out to be the best videos I've made. Other times videos that I spend a minimal amount of time planning and scripting outperform videos that I've spent the most time preparing for. So even though I know all of this, every time I upload a video, I'm still hopeful. I'm hopeful that I might just crack the code somehow, that something will finally click for me when it comes to creating videos that really captivate and really draw you in. Sometimes being a small YouTuber feels hopeful. Part 2, the harsh reality. But then it happens. I hit the publish button and reality sets in. I keep updating my YouTube Studio app over and over again multiple times during the day. No views, no subs, just crickets. I try to tell myself that things will come eventually and that all small YouTubers go through this, but then I think, why me, right? Why can't I be different, right? Then I start to watch, my latest uploaded video over and over again. I'm looking for reasons why no one's watching or trying to anticipate when someone might decide to actually click off, right? Focusing on that moment where I might have stuttered a bit or misspoke, and all of that only for a couple hours to pass, and I finally start to see views start to tick up slowly, right? But by then, I've already spiraled, and I'm just like, whatever happens, happens, right? But the joke is that the joke is really on me, right? I'm kidding myself, right? And then, I take out my phone and I start looking at other creators in my niche and I try to figure out what it is that they have that I don't, right? Then I go and I recheck my analytics. I see some improvement, so I feel slightly better, but not really. It's just a vicious cycle. Sometimes being a small YouTuber feels like a roller coaster. Part 3. The small wins that keep you going. But you know something? It's really the small wins that have kept me going. And by now I know that not every video is going to be a hit, right? I know that this is just part of being a small YouTuber. Sometimes they're gonna pop and other times they're gonna be a dud. And I know that YouTube has been tweaking its algorithm to identify talented small YouTubers. So honestly, I'm still waiting for them to discover me. But honestly, real talk, it's really those small wins I mentioned earlier that really keep me going. I remember the very first video on this channel that I uploaded when it got 100 views. I was absolutely blown away because I was like, wow, people are actually watching this? Like, I have no subscribers. No one knows who I am. And then a few subscribers came and then a few comments came after that, and it was great. Sometimes being a small YouTuber feels exciting. Part 4, the mental struggles and self-doubt. But even with small wins, there often is still a lot of doubt involved, right? I often find myself asking myself if I'm wasting my time, even though I'm making these videos because it's something that I enjoy doing outside of the hustle and bustle of life, right? I just can't help but to compare myself with bigger YouTubers. Being a small YouTuber feels, well, small sometimes. Especially when you see people in your space that are just absolutely killing it and it's like they have that je ne sais quoi, right? I think I'm saying it right. And I'm like, what is that, right? Do I have that? And then after, feeling a bit beat up from all the mental anguish that I put myself through, I find myself occasionally uninspired. No ideas are flowing out of my head. They're all just stuck up there somewhere. Sometimes being a small YouTuber feels hopeless. Part 5, why I'm still here and why you should keep going. After all this rigmarole, I've realized that just like they say in the movies and the books, success doesn't come overnight. I mean, I've always known that, but sometimes after busting your butt, you feel like you deserve for it to come overnight. But the reality is that isn't the way that life works, and it isn't the way YouTube works, at least not for everyone. And I know that there are actually pros and cons to finding too much success right away. You can get swept up in all of the views, the pressure to put out videos. You can lose your sense of direction for your channel. You can feel that you're stuck in your niche that you might not even care about anymore or like anymore, and the list goes on. And honestly, that's kind of what happened to me with my old channel, and I decided to create something new from scratch, and I put myself against the algorithm, and I decided to see what happens. So why am I still here? Because I'm passionate about creating. I'm passionate about creating videos that can help others in some way, whether it's learning about new gear, sharing my experience, or something else. I know that it feels great. So if you're a small YouTuber and you're watching this, I just want to say that even though being a small YouTuber can feel completely different from day to day, week to week, it's the passion that you have for creating, the incremental improvements that you've made along the way, and thinking far into the future and where your channel will take you, that you have to focus on. And for me, I know that even though if no one is watching, I'm still getting better, I'm still having fun, and that's all that matters. Sometimes being a small YouTuber feels inspiring. Part 6, final words. If you're a small creator, you're not alone. We're all in this together. And before you head off and click off this video, I'd like you to take a moment and leave a comment about your struggles as a small YouTuber and maybe some ways that you found to combat them. And I promise you that another creator out there is experiencing the very same thing, and maybe your comment will give them the solution or the courage that they need to push through. And if this video resonated with you, definitely drop a like, hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Let's grow as creators together, and just know that sometimes being a small YouTuber feels like you're not in this all alone.